After the big Marvel Phase 4 films trailer, I thought I'd take a look as to exactly how diverse Phase 4 of the MCU is looking. I've taken a look at the 6 TV shows and 10 films in the current MCU Phase 4 roster. And within that, I'll be taking a look at how diverse the lead characters are, how diverse the directors are, and how diverse the writers are. Please take note that when I'm looking at their diversity, I'm looking at race diversity as well as binary gender. As far as I'm aware, all the people that I have taken a look at identify as cisgendered. So, let's take a look. Welcome to Hakuna MaChatter, your place for everything positive in diversity and representation in film and TV. My name is Elliot. If you're new here to the channel, please consider subscribing and dropping this video with a like. So let's take a look at the TV shows first, and the 6 shows I looked at include WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, and Miss Marvel. Quickly, out of the shows that are yet to come out, let me know in the comment section down below which one you're most looking forward to. So before looking at the numbers, it's important to understand how I've determined who a lead character is. For WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and Miss Marvel, I have stuck with the titular lead character. For What If, I have stuck with the Watcher, who is currently listed on IMDb to be in 10 episodes of What If, whereas every other character is currently listed to only be in 1 episode each. And for Hawkeye, I've included both Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. For the directors, I've stuck with the lead director, and for the writers, I have stuck with the showrunner of each show. Alright, let's take a look at the numbers, shall we? So, firstly, looking at lead characters. As it currently stands, 66.7% of leads are male, with 33.3% being female. So this currently shows that female leads are underrepresented and not meeting their US proportionate representation, with male leads exceeding theirs. White leads make up 55.6% of lead characters, while minoritized race leads make up 44.4%. This tells us that minoritized race people are exceeding their US proportionate representation. Of course, this would be less if I hadn't counted Jeffrey Wright, who is voicing the Watcher in What If. For directors, there is parity between male directors and female directors, both at 50% each. However, on the other hand, white directors are making up 83.3% of the TV directors, with minoritized race directors only making up 16.7%. This shows that they are heavily underrepresented. The US proportionate representation would see them at 40.3%, and they are currently sitting at 16.7%. When it comes to writers, again, male and female writers are equal at 50% each, whereas white writers are making up 66.7% of all writers, and minoritized race writers are only making up 33.3%. Again, this shows that minoritized race writers are below the proportionate representation. Overall, though there may be more diversity for minoritized race leads when it comes to the TV shows in Phase 4 of the MCU, they are greatly falling behind when it comes to directing and writing. On the other hand, for female directors and writers, they have met parity with their male counterparts, but have fallen behind when it comes to lead characters. Okay, so let's move on to the films of Phase 4, and the 10 films I have looked at for this are Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, The Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, The Marvels, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and finally, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And before I carry on, let me know in the comment section down below which of these 10 films you are most excited for. For me, it's gotta be The Eternals. So whereas the same with the TV shows, I tried to stick with the titular leads for the films, there are plenty anomalies. For starters, we don't yet know who is going to be leading Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and it's unclear within the Eternals cast who is leading that. So for this video, I have stuck with what looks like the main team on IMDb for this video. With Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I've stuck with both Strange and Wanda, and for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I went with Star-Lord and Gamora. Now, this probably seems a bit weird considering I took the entire team for the Eternals, but not for Guardians of the Galaxy, but based off of the first 2 Guardians films, I feel this is a safe bet. So for lead roles within Phase 4 films of the MCU, male leads currently make up 52.2%, whereas female leads are making up 47.8%. This again showing that female leads are currently below their US proportionate representation. White leads stand at 56.5%, with minoritized race leads at 43.5%. This shows that currently minoritized race leads are exceeding their proportionate representation. However, I do heavily expect this number to change, considering the fact that I've included the entire team of the Eternals so far, and we still don't know who the leads for Wakanda Forever are. In film directors, male directors stand at 70%, with female directors down at 30%. So unlike the TV directors, female directors are struggling to reach parity with their male counterparts in the MCU Phase 4 films. There is a very stark difference when it comes to minoritized race directors, as they are currently sitting equal to white directors in Phase 4 of the MCU. Taika Waititi, Ryan Coogler, Chloe Zhao, Nia DaCosta and Destin Daniel Cretton all helming films in Phase 4 of the MCU. When it comes to the film writers, male writers are making up 77.8% of the writers, with female writers only making up 22.2% of the writers on Phase 4 films. That's a heavy underrepresentation. White writers are making up 55.6% of the writers on Phase 4, with minoritized race writers making up 44.4%. Here we can see that minoritized race writers are exceeding the US proportionate representation. As was similar with TV lead roles, the female leads in film are not making parity with their male counterparts, whereas again minoritized race leads are exceeding their US proportionate representation. Female writers and directors are heavily underrepresented in Phase 4 films, and this goes against the parity they reached with their male counterparts in the Phase 4 TV shows. However, minoritized race directors and writers are exceeding their US proportionate representation, with directors reaching parity with their white counterparts. Let's take an overall look at what all those numbers mean. When compared to the first 3 phases of the MCU, it's safe to say that yes, Phase 4 of the MCU is definitely more diverse. Where we can see minoritized race people exceeding their proportionate representation in front of the camera, when it comes to TV, they are still heavily underrepresented behind the camera. Though behind the camera in film appears to pick up some of the slack. However, this is slightly countered by the fact that minoritized race writers appear to be pigeonholed into projects such as Shang-Chi and Black Panther. This isn't always the case, however, and isn't necessarily a bad thing. The Eternals has both Asian writers and directors, and with that they have taken the opportunity to diversify the Eternals cast. The pickup of female writers and directors on the TV front is encouraging, however their disparity to their male counterparts on the film front cuts that TV encouragement short. Not only this, but there is work that still needs to be done when it comes to female leads. This could just be down to the fact that I was sticking to titular leads only for simplicity. However, out of the 11 film leads that I counted, 5 were in the Eternals, though this will definitely change once we get more information about that film, and 3 are in the Marvels. All this to say, yes, Phase 4 of the MCU is clearly more diverse than the first 3 phases, though it's in no way taking over as some people would try and have you think. If you want some more MCU action from me, you can click my full MCU playlist right here. If you'd like to take a look at identity conscious casting and how that differs to colorblind and color conscious casting, click right there. And if you'd like to subscribe, turning on the bell notification, you can click right here. Until next time, Hakuna MaChatter.